Hello everybody, and welcome back to the second test game. So like I said before, there are 3 of these. I did the first one a little bit ago, so if you haven't seen that, go ahead, I'll put a card up here. My brother was telling me that this one is a little bit different than the first one. It's not going to be a bunch of yes or no questions, and there's a little more personality to the character that is testing you. Again, I've never played this game, so I'm going in blind. In the first one, it had a lot to say about me at the end. I actually showed the game to a friend of mine, and let's turn this down a little bit. I showed my playthrough to a friend of mine, and she was like, "Isn't that exactly what I was telling you? Like, that game told you exactly what I've been trying to tell you. You need to get your ass in gear." So I thought that was really interesting, and it's time to go ahead and play the second one. So let's see what this one has to say. Before experiencing the test Hypothesis Rising, it's highly recommended that you play its prequel, The Test, before venturing into this experience. Okay, we've done that. You will stand to gain a lot more from this experience if you play the test first, and this examination will also make a bit more sense, as it carries on from where the last examination left off. I'd like to urge you to go and play the test now before venturing forward and follow the instructions, blah blah blah. Would you like to close this game now so you can play the test? No, I already played it. Wonderful news. We can continue. Hello, and welcome to my office. It's truly a pleasure to see you here today. Please excuse the mess. I haven't had a chance to clean up yet. His name is Fate. Now, I don't want to take up too much of your time with blibber blabber and nonsensical speak, so I'll just get straight to the point. Sometimes we have to ask ourselves life's tough questions. There's one question in particular I'd like for you to ask yourself. Are you happy? And when I say happy, I don't mean content. Being content is great, but it's not the same as being happy. I want to help you. I want to inspire you to be the best that you can be. I want to inspire you to be the happiest version of yourself. I want to see you grow, inside and out. Now, how do we accomplish this? You might be asking. Good question. Allow me to explain. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you're going to answer them with 100% entire honesty. And when I say 100% entire honesty, I mean 100% entire honesty. Think about it. You do want to be happy, don't you? You wouldn't want to do something so bold as tempt fate by lying, would you? Just remember, if you lie, the only person you're lying to is yourself. The only person who will suffer from this is you. And believe me, you will suffer. Not to mention the fact that whether you tell the truth or not, I'll know. But that's another story. Let's be moving on, shall we? We've wasted enough time explaining what we're going to be doing. Just remember, we all want to be good people. We all want to give the answers that we feel lend the most desirable human traits within ourselves. But sometimes good people do bad things, and sometimes we don't always have desirable traits as humans. I cannot express enough how important it is to be truly honest while answering these questions, no matter how uncomfortable the truth may make you. I remember the first game did something like this. It was like, oh, did I get you? Did I get you with that one? And I do like these intros, how they set them up. You know, it does put you in that frame of mind where you're like, okay, I understand. I need to tell the truth. I am a human being. I have made mistakes. And I'm going to own up to those as I answer these questions. So I like that they do that, you know, because normally a test won't put you in that frame of mind. Now it's time to get into the real meat of this experience. It's time for you to get the advice that you deserve. As you read the questions and scenarios during this process, I want you to create your own circumstances and build your own bridges to arrive at the answer that best suits your own psyche. If you have never experienced a scenario being asked to you, then simply imagine that you have and try to assume how you might feel in that situation. I'd like to invite you to pour a glass of water, sit back, and relax as we unfold your fate and the secret to overcoming the next hurdle in your life. We're going to start with some basic, easy questions. If you answer these questions twice, your advice may change. It's not just about answering the questions. It's about many different variables. I remember that from the first one. Many different factors are at play here, including the amount of time taken to answer proposed questions. See, in that one, I thought about that. I was explaining myself to the camera as I was answering these questions. So I wonder if that had to play with anything that, like they say it does. So I'm still going to do it. I got to explain my thought process. With that being said, it's far more important to actually take your time and think about how honest of an answer you're giving before you give it. Good. Whatever you do, do not rush the process. Time is your best friend here. You'll see what I mean soon enough. And here we go. Do you feel uncomfortable right now? No. Are you nervous? No. Do you feel cold? No. Do you feel sad? No. Have you ever hurt someone because you were hurting, even though they didn't deserve it? I did. Yeah. I used to do that kind of stuff to my brother. I always felt it was unfair if I felt pain, so he would have to as well. One story comes to mind that I don't really like so much. I was probably 6 years old. I don't know if this is like a narcissistic trait or something, but I got something stuck in my eye, and it made me mad. So I told my brother to come over there, and I took a bird. You know those birds that get stuck to your pants when you walk through like a field? I took one of those and threw it into his eye. I just figured if I'm in pain, he should be also. And I don't do that anymore. That's some bullshit, but yes, I have. Do you crave acceptance by others? I think if I'm being honest with myself, I do. I always like try to say that I don't, but I freaking have a YouTube channel, I think I do. Have you ever lost a loved one? Yes, I have. Do you know what heartbreak feels like? Yes, I do. Do you believe in demons? Not the biblical personification. Like metaphorically, inner demons and stuff like that, but I don't think that's what he's asking, so I'm gonna say no. Do you believe in curses? No. Would you consider yourself to be spiritual? I'd say yes. I'd say a healthy amount of spiritual. Are you afraid of dying alone? No. If there was undeniable proof that a ghost was haunting you, would you continue to live in your home? No. Have you ever seen an object mysteriously move without being touched? I think the problem with this question is every time that does happen, you try to reason with yourself. So like you see a chair rocking back and forth when there's no wind, and you're like, there must have been a gust or something, I'm gonna say no, not to a point where I'm like, dude, this definitely happened. I'm gonna say no. Do you think that it's possible for a game to summon supernatural forces into your life without you knowing it? No. Would you like to make more friends? Yeah. I mean, I have a lot, and I feel like I spread myself really thin, and it sometimes makes me feel like I'm letting them down and disappointing them because I can't always be there. So that's hard, but I mean, I would always love to have more friends, So I'm going to say yeah. Would you consider yourself to be a good friend? I'd say yes. Do you feel lonely? Yeah. What was that? Did that say talk to me? Do you make friends easily? I do. Do you tend to avoid drama where possible? I do avoid it, but if it gets brought up into a conversation, or people just bring it into the situation, then I get into it, and not into it like I get angry or dramatic. I start, like, I guess poking until it gets to a point where people are like, oh, I see, this is kind of ridiculous, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, we're adults, you know? So I guess I don't avoid it. I kind of antagonize it. Have you ever had a near-death experience? I've had multiple. Do you like horror movies? Nah. This is all very interesting. Have you played the test? Yes. That's the spirit. Have you played the horoscope? Uh-uh. Give it a whack. I'm totally not biased or anything. Do you watch porn? Yep. Would you consider yourself to be a hard worker? Yes. Do you have a low opinion of yourself? I think relative to the people around me, I do. I think we're generally harder on ourselves than we are on others. Even when we're hard on others, it's because generally we're projecting a trait that we dislike in ourselves that we see in someone else. And so we start to mock them for it, when the fact of the matter is, it's you. So I think in a sense, yes, I have a lower opinion of myself than most of my friends have of me. When they tell me about me, they're like, you are, you know, they say all these wonderful things. And I'm like, man, I would never have. I'm going to say, shit. I meant yes. Well, I guess no. Would you consider yourself to be a confident person? Very much. Would you help an old lady cross the street even if you were running late for an appointment? Yeah. Would you kill all of your neighbors' pets just to save one of your own? No, I would not. Have you ever tried to smother yourself with a pillow to actually see if you could suffocate yourself? Have you ever been caught dancing when you thought no one was watching? Yeah. Have you ever tried to roll your eyes back so far just to see if they could really get stuck? What kind of questions are these? Have you ever played a practical joke that you regret pulling on someone? Probably. Yeah, I do. Oh, yeah. So, okay, so there was this one day. I had known these two twin girls all my life. I was there when they were born. So we had been friends since birth. One day, they're maybe 6 to 8 years old. I don't actually remember. And I found this little foam mushroom in my yard one day. And as an evil little prank, I put it in a bag with, and then I put it in a tin can, and a pair of tweezers went into that. And so they came over one day, and I open up the jar, and I pull out the bag, and I open it up, and I pull out the tweezers, and I take the mushroom with the tweezers, and I looked at them and I said, I need you to listen to me when I tell you this. This is the blue bottom mushroom. Which was funny because it did have like a blue stem and a white cap. It looked like a mushroom, but it was made of foam. And I was looking at it, I was holding it in front of them. I said, this is the blue bottom mushroom. They're incredibly rare, and it's also the most poisonous mushroom in the entire world. If it were to even touch you, you would have a day before you would die. And then I dropped it on one of them. Dude, okay, it was funny to me. They started crying. They were crying because they legitimately thought it was real. And I picked it up and I was like, guys, no, guys, seriously, it's. I was just kidding. It's not real. And it didn't take them too long before they like came out of that. But they were like, that was mean. And I was like, yeah, you're right. That was mean. I made like a 6-year-old kid quarrel with death. So, yeah, I would take that back. Are you streaming live right now? No. Are you recording this gameplay session? I am. If I told you that I was watching you play this game right now, would you believe me? No. If you've left a comment for me at any point, I've read your words. Does this bother you? No. Actually, that was kind of cool. The developer, one of the developers of this game, actually commented on my last video. He said he really enjoyed my playthrough, and it was really entertaining to watch me. So I thought that was really neat. I'm actually looking forward to posting this because I hope that, you know, maybe they'll do it again. They said they have this special project coming up and they're going to pick people for it. And I kind of inquired about that. I was like, I'd like to be a part of that if you guys are, you know, looking for people. So If you left a comment for me, does it make you feel positive that I've paid attention to what you've taken the time to write? Yes, that's exactly what I was just saying. Do you understand that no matter what, I appreciate you? These people seem to have a psychedelic mind. I really do. Or a psychedelic heart, for sure. Are you afraid of snakes? No. Do you believe in magic? I answered that last time and I said yes. It wasn't the stereotypical magic, but I'm going to keep my answer. Have you cried in the last month? No. Do you have a hero? There are people I admire. Marty Robbins, I admire very much. Terrence McKenna, I admire very much. Certain aspects of Joe Rogan and Elon Musk, but I don't know if I'd call them heroes. Do you typically learn from your mistakes? I do. Do you enjoy outdoor activities? Very much. Would you consider yourself to be lazy? I'm a human being. Do you sometimes find it difficult to stay motivated? No, if I get motivated, I'm gonna stay motivated. The challenge is getting the grease in there in the first place. Some days I'll wake up and I'll just like, I don't want to do anything. But the second I actually push myself to get going, there's no stopping me. I would actually say compared to most people, no, it's not difficult for me to get motivated. Do you put the needs of others before yourself? No. Generally, I don't. And that's something I really got to work on. Would your family and friends describe you as kind? They would. Have you ever cheated in a relationship? Yeah. But none of them were real, like, I never had, I wasn't in a real relationship. You know, like, I was in hidden relationships, like, this one girl, I was with her, but, like, she could never tell family or friends or anything because she was super religious and she wasn't allowed to date anyone. So it just never really felt real. My first girlfriend was a complete snake. My first real girlfriend, the one in Vietnam, I never cheated on her. I've never cheated in a real relationship. But I have cheated in these, like, gray area relationships. I'm gonna just go with yes. Have you ever been cheated on? Not as far as I know. I don't think I have. Would you consider yourself to be judgmental? Playfully judgmental, sure. But people are very easily able to pull me out if they're like, hang on, if you think about it this way, you know? I'm just going to say yes. It's just part of the human condition. I see. Are you a hero to someone else? I do believe I am. And I don't say that with any narcissism. I've had friends of mine tell me this. I've had subscribers tell me this. So I do believe yes. Do you love animals? Very much. Have you ever found a family member on Tinder who wanted to hit them with a super like just to make shit real awkward? I've never met a family member on Tinder. Yeah, me neither. Do you enjoy drinking alcohol? Yes. Are you intoxicated right now? I'm not. Well, that makes one of us. Heck. Do you like the phrase sneaky snake? That's a weird coincidence. So when I was in elementary school, we were having what was it? You know, show and tell, but it's not. It's the talent show. Yeah, elementary school talent show. And I had to sing a song, and I didn't know what song to sing. So my neighbor said, "You should sing the song Sneaky Snake." That was the first performance I ever performed as a little kid, up on stage in front of my entire school, was Sneaky Snake. So that's just really coincidental to me. Yeah, I do. Are these questions a bit strange to you? Yeah, they are. Because I've never told that story. I've never said anything, so that's kind of interesting that he just asked that question right after saying that. I don't even have video evidence of that. I have a very vivid imagination. Do you feel uncomfortable in large social settings? No. Would you consider yourself to be antisocial? As if. Do you hold a grudge for long periods of time? No. Have you ever urinated in public? Oh, yeah. Do you like pineapple on your pizza? Screw that. Would you consider yourself to be selfish? No. No. Do you think you've got a big ego? For sure. Would you consider yourself kinky? Yes. Have you ever masturbated into a fish bowl? No. Well, then you can't be that kinky. Would you consider yourself to be religious? No. Would you consider yourself to be temperamental? Not generally. I have to be in a pretty weird mood. And again, people can typically pull me out of these moods. I just have to be like, hey, I'm in a weird spot in my head. They're like, okay, well, what are you thinking about? And then I vent, and then everything's fine. So I wouldn't say I'm temperamental. If you had to kill someone to save your own life, but you knew they didn't deserve it, would you do it? Okay, we're going to run into a scenario real quick. So let's say I'm robbing a... No, I'm not robbing a bank. Hang on, sorry. Let's say I'm in a bank and the bank is being robbed. The guy comes in and says, all right, everybody, get on the ground. And I'm slow to doing it. So he comes over to me and he puts a gun to my head. And he says, okay, either you die because you didn't listen to my rules, or you pick some random person in here to die. I would probably say, you're the boss. I'm not gonna pick someone to die. If your choice is to kill me, then your choice is to kill me. So, that's just the way it's gotta be. I'm not gonna make some innocent person die just so I can live. No. Interesting. Would you sacrifice your own life for a complete stranger? Now that I don't know. That depends on the situation, and that I don't know. I possibly would, but I'm going to lean on no. Even more interesting. Have you ever been inside of a burning building? No. Have you ever been to a funeral? Yes, I have. If you could attend your own funeral before you died, would you take the opportunity to do so? Yeah. I'm going to make sure they do that right. I'm going to make sure they do that right. So, I want them to float me down a river in a wooden canoe. The whole thing is filled with oil. Someone shoots a fire arrow into the boat, and it bursts into flames. And then whatever ashes they collect, I want them to take those ashes to the top of that mountain in Oregon with the largest growth of mushrooms. It's the largest organism in the world, and it's here in Oregon. And I want them to spread my ashes all in there. They got to do it right. And also, it shouldn't be like a sad thing, you know? I want them to be like, okay, look, here's who Barry was, you know? Like, it's okay, you can cry, that's fine, you can cry, but don't do the whole, he was a sweet person, and we're really gonna miss him. I don't want to hear it, okay? Tell some fun stories. What did you know about Barry? What's something funny that happened between you and Barry, you know? That's what I want. So, I would, yeah. If you could see into the future, but you were told that you would only reveal that it would only reveal the absolute worst of what's in store for you, would you still look? Yeah, I would. Shit hitting the fan, I'll just step out of the way at that point. If you had the power to stop time, would you use it to do something you knew you shouldn't do? Yeah, 100%. I'd go to Walmart, freeze time as someone opens up the cash machine, and I would just take all the money and do that for all the cash machines. Easy. Screw Walmart. I'd do that. If you had the power to remove one person from the earth, never to return again, would you use it? I don't know if I can think of a single person that I would want to remove from the earth. I feel like everyone's kind of just meant to be here, so I'm going to go with no. If I told you that I understand you better than you understand yourself, would you believe me? Possibly. I'm going to go with the potential is yes, because this is a personality test designed for that sort of thing. And then also, too, you guys did say a lot last time that surprised me. So I've got a little more faith in you this time. Also, a person can only be so objective about themselves. Like, it's very difficult to look at yourself objectively. So anyone on the outside, even a machine, an algorithm, or an artificial intelligence, they are going to be able to see you way clearer. So I'm just going to go with yeah. If someone threatened to kill you, would your first response be to react in violence? I don't think so. No, I think I'd try to talk to him. If a stranger stole money from you to support their drug addiction, would you forgive them if they apologized to you? Yes. If a family member said something nasty about you behind your back, would you confront them about it? Yeah. If you had to eat raw squirrel brains for 3 days to stay alive, would you do it? I'm sure I would be hungry enough that it would taste like cake. If you woke up tomorrow and none of your family remembered who you were, would you choose to leave and start a new life? I'd probably consider it. That's interesting. I might spend some time trying to convince them. Like, I'm your son, I'm your brother, you know me. Yeah, probably. I'd probably just go back to Vietnam. If a homeless man was clearly sick, freezing, and utterly miserable in the rain, would you be willing to give him your clothes and walk home naked? I don't know if I would. I wouldn't even consider that. Yeah, I'm going to say no. If someone accidentally hit you in their car but you suffered no injuries whatsoever, would you still be upset with them? Of course I would. I'd be like, dude, you got to pay attention. I wouldn't press charges or anything, but I'd be like, come on, you got lucky this time, dude. Have you looked for any hidden meanings or messages within these questions? No, I haven't. Maybe you should have been. Are you wondering if there's a deeper meaning to all of this, other than just simply answering question after question? Yes. Miracles happen every day. Do you agree? I do. Umbrellas aren't worth lugging around, and you don't mind getting rained on. Yeah, that's fine. Red is a prettier color than pink. Yeah. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag blowing in the wind? Yeah. Yeah. You just don't really have control of your direction. You're just kind of going with wherever it takes you. I'd say so. Eating in front of people can be awkward. No. Rings used as a ceremonial wedding gift are so outdated. Do you agree? I don't really care. It doesn't bother me. Do you realize that the letter of the last 6 questions, when combined, spelled the word murder? No, but I should have been paying attention, because they always do that with those ones. They always, mess with you, and then they're like, oh, by the way, did you know this? Do you know why that is? Does it make you feel slightly uncomfortable? No. Are you going to start paying closer attention to what you may have got yourself into? Yeah, I will. I actually will. I'll try. Do you realize that it's too late to turn back now? I could Alt F4 and go again. No. I'm here. Do you hear someone in your room? That actually did give me a little bit of a chill. No. Do you see shadows closing in? No. Do you feel like you're being watched? No. Did you look around your room a moment ago? No. Do you like long walks on the beach? Yes. Do you enjoy giving gifts to people? I do. Have you ever felt like giving up on life? There was a time. There was a time where I did, and it never got serious. I just felt that way and realized that I needed to fix my mentality. Do you love your family more than you love yourself? If I have the ability to love at 100%, then I'm going to give the love that I have equally to everyone else as well. So, no. Do you have a best friend who's clearly better than the rest of your friends? No. I used to do that whole friends hierarchy thing. I don't do that anymore. Do you think there's some kind of conspiracy behind the coronavirus? Yeah. It feels weird, okay? I'm sorry. It's felt weird since day one. I'm not going to get into it. Do you believe that you're human? Yeah, what? If you could turn invisible, but you could never be visible ever again once you decided to use your power for the first time, would you ever use it? Yeah. Yeah, I would. Yeah. If you knew someone was about to rob a convenience store, but you knew that you were doing... Oh, sorry. Okay. But you knew that they were doing it to feed their family, would you stop them? Mm-mm. If you were stranded on a remote island with a stranger, and you were both starving to death, but you found a secret stash of food that they didn't know about, would you share it with them? Yes, of course I would. If you could turn into an eagle for 1 year, but you wouldn't be able to turn back into a person until that 1 year had passed, would you do it? Yes. I would tell everybody that I was doing it too. I would turn into the eagle, have them strap a GoPro to me, and I'd just fly around. If you had the opportunity to earn riches beyond your wildest dreams by fighting a grizzly bear to death using nothing but a machete and an army helmet, I would lose. I'd lose. There's no way. No, I wouldn't do that. That's stupid. If you had to pick one basic food item to eat exclusively for an entire year, would you choose potatoes? No. You can make a lot of things with potatoes, but no. If pizza screamed in agony every time you bit into a piece, would you still continue to eat pizza? No. If your best friend got bit in the genitals by a highly venomous snake, and the only way to save their life was to suck the venom out of their genitals, would you do it to save them? Okay, so here's the deal. That whole sucking the poison out of a bite doesn't work. It doesn't work. But let's say in this reality, it does work. I have to suck the poison out of some dude's ball sack. It's just skin, and I'm saving him. I wouldn't be able to tell the story. Actually, yeah, I would. I'd tell it and get millions of views. Yeah. Yeah, I could do that. Was that question difficult to answer? Not really. Watch the video. I thought you were watching me. Do you feel mortal? Yeah. Do you enjoy loud music? To a degree, I do. Do you feel awkward when you dance in front of others? Yeah, I suck at dancing. Do you suffer from an anxiety disorder? No. Do you ever feel depressed? Yeah. You're not alone. Do you feel relaxed? I do. Do you think you have a guardian angel watching over you? I like to believe it's possible. I want to say yeah. I'm going to go with yes. Do you ever hear your name being called when no one could have called it? Yes. I'm going to take special note of that one. Do you always look both ways before crossing the road? Yes. Do you wash your hands every day? I do. Do you feel uncomfortable using public restrooms? Never. Is winter your favorite season? No. Do you know anyone named Josh? No, not since high school. Are you wondering why that last question is relevant? Are you allergic to any animals? No. Have you ever thought about an animal in a sexual way? No. Have you ever been in love? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be artistic? I would say, in a sense, I am definitely artistic. I'm not an artist, but I'm creative, so I'll say yes. Would you consider yourself to be dominant in day-to-day life? Yeah. Do you feel that you've got too much time on your hands? No. Opposite. Can you be easily intimidated by others? Nope. Are you easily excitable? Yes. Do you enjoy solving complex problems? Yeah, to a degree. Do you have a difficult time relaxing? Sometimes I do. Would you consider yourself to be high maintenance? No way. Do you trust easily? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be an honest person? Yes, honest to a point where it's sometimes not good. Have you ever told a lie? Of course I have. Have you ever lied to your best friend? Of course I have. Have you ever lied to your family? Of course I have. Have you lied about any of the answers during this session? Nope. Are you wondering why all these questions have to do with lying? I'll bet the first letter of every goddamn thing spells Satan. This is all very useful information. Are you a people pleaser? If I am, it's inadvertently. Because I don't go out of my way. I'll say naturally I am. Do you enjoy being the center of attention? I do. Do you feel like you've got a good sense of humor? Yes, I do. Do you frighten easily? No. No. They're gonna jump scare me. Well, that was odd. I wonder what that was all about. That's probably a pretty good place for us to stop the simple segment of our questionnaire and move on to the more gritty questions. This next set of questions will not be yes or no answers. The next portion of your session will be filled with various scenarios that put you smack dab in the middle of a vital choice making. We'll see how well you handle your options as you delve deep into each scenario. Remember, the key to all this is to answer honestly. Let's get started. You're home alone, it's dark, and it's storming outside. All of a sudden, there's a knock on your bedroom door. Someone is in your house. What do? A knock on your bedroom door. I think I would grab an item that could be used as a weapon, but I would open the door to see who it was. So it's like both of these. I'll do the weapon. You meet a homeless woman on the street. She asks you for money. You find it within yourself to give her all the spare change you have. Just as you do, a homeless man approaches, asking if you can spare some change. What do? Tell the man you've got no change left to offer. Tell the homeless woman to share with the man. Tell the homeless man to ask the woman for some help. Tell the homeless man that you'll get some more from somewhere. I've got no change left. Really now? Both your mother and your father fall incredibly ill to a life-threatening disease, and there's only enough medicine and facilities to save one of your parents, and time is of the essence. What do? Wow. That's a hell of a question. So I either give the treatment to my father or my mother, I split it between them, or I save the medical treatment for myself. I wouldn't do that last one. That's ridiculous. So I feel like my dad would probably tell me to give it to mom, because my father has a lot of health issues already. He's the kind of person where he's like, if it's my time to die, I'm just gonna die. So I imagine practically he'd be more okay with it. So I think I'd give the treatment to mom, just because of how I think the conversation would go. That doesn't surprise me. You think I'm a mama's boy? You find a case of money tucked away inside of a dumpster. Inside there's 10 solid gold bars and a vial of mysterious liquid. Under the vial there's a note that says the cure for cancer. What do? Turn the case to a professional entity so they can utilize it. Keep the gold bars but give away the cure. Keep the cure for cancer but give away the gold bars. Keep everything in case for yourself to sell or use. I would keep the gold bars and give away the cure. That's my reward. What a wasted opportunity. Why? I mean, I could keep the cancer agent and then sell it and then make a buttload of money, but if I got gold bars, I don't need the buttload of money. I'll be fine. And the cure for cancer, I mean, I could give that to someone who's going to give it away cheap. I don't know. What? I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't judge. You're stuck alone inside your house and you're starving to death. You've completely run out of food and no one is coming to save you for weeks. The only potential source of food around you is your family pets. What do you do? My freaking dog. Sorry, guys. I think I'd kill the pets. Yeah. I think I'm gonna eat Princess first, because she's always barking. So I'm stuck alone inside my house. I'm starving to death. I run out of food, and no one's coming. Oh yeah, I'd eat my pets. I'd start with Princess. Why am I not surprised? Your neighbor is on fire, or your neighbor's home is on fire. A blazing inferno among smoke emits from the windows. You hear screams for help coming from within, but you can't see past the flames. No one else is in sight. What do you do? Run into the building for sure. My neighbor, the one that I'm thinking of, has triplets. I would totally run in there. I like that. You're fast asleep in your bed when you're awoken by what sounds like a woman's muffled cries from somewhere in your room. You quickly realize it's coming from under your bed. What do you do? Immediately look under the bed, hide under the covers, verbally call out to her, jump out of bed, and run out of the room. I would call, "Who the hell is in my bed? Get up here." A man in a fancy. See, these E's, man. A man in a fancy suit approaches you while you're walking down the street. He pulls a watch from his pocket and hands it to you. He claims that when the watch stops ticking, it marks the moment your time runs out on this earth. What do you do? Take the watch and thank him for the gift. Decline the offer for the watch and keep walking. Tell him that he needs professional help and keep his distance. Tell him you already got 3 of them as a toy in your Happy Meal. I would probably take the watch and thank him. I'd be like, okay, sure, man, that's interesting. Would you now? You're sitting at home playing a game on your PC. Uh-oh, it's getting meta. When all of a sudden, someone grips and squeezes your shoulder firmly from behind. Immediately jump up and turn around. Scream and stay still. Spin around with a vicious elbow. Tell them to squeeze harder. You could use a nice massage. I'd probably jump up and turn around. Ha! You're sitting in the bathtub trying to relax when a hand emerges from the water. Jump out of the bath and run as fast as you can. Kick the hand and try to keep it away from you. Give it a firm handshake, maybe a solid fist bump. Push it underneath and hope that you get some free hand action. What? I would jump out of the bath. Clever. You get out of bed and immediately fall into a deep dark hole. A man is standing above you, looking down, telling you to put lotion on your skin while he watches. Ask if he'll come down and help apply the lotion. Yeah, I'd probably dick with him. Smart choice. You're sitting at home alone, and all of a sudden, your door slams shut. You see it before your very eyes, and you know that no one is home. And it couldn't have been a gust of wind. I'd probably, run over the door and open it. I like that. I like how some answers he's like, okay, cool. And then other answers he's like, why? Someone you've known for many years but have no attraction to tells you that they've had a massive crush on you for a long time. Ask them out on a date. Who knows what might happen. Tell them you're flattered but just not interested. Tell them that you feel like dating might ruin the friendship. Ask if you want to be friends with benefits. Oh my god. Probably that one. Ah, so you're one of those types. Your dog starts randomly barking into the darkest corner of your living room. There doesn't appear to be anything there, but your dog insists on escalating to growls. What do you do? Try to calm your dog down by petting them. Stand and stare at the corner to see if anything moves. Walk to the corner and extend your hand to feel for anything. Walk out of the room and ignore it. I'd probably stare at the corner. I'm taking note of that. You see a massive A spider in your room the size of your hand. Oh god. Grab something bigger. Well, guess we're moving out. Burn the entire house down. Try to capture it. Yeah, I'll try to catch it. Ha! Your closest family member tells you that they're a serial killer. Tell them you don't want to know any more details. Turn them into the authorities. Ask them information so you can help them stay out of trouble. Try to convince them that they need help. I'd probably turn them in. Be like, what are you doing? I'd play around with it for a little bit. I'd be like, oh, okay, I've always wanted to do that too. Like, you know, what goes into that? Get information and then go to the police and be like, hey, this is serious, you know? I see. If you found out that you only had 1 day left to live, what would you do? Tell everyone that I love them and be happy. Do something insane and crazy. Not tell anyone, just act as if nothing changed. Spend my time on my own. I would tell everyone. Yeah. Alright then. If one of your pets started speaking to you and told you that they've got a dire warning, that you were going to die if you didn't let them eat all of the ice cream in the freezer, what would you do? Go lay down. I'm obviously too high for this. Give them all the ice cream they can handle. Don't give them the ice cream. You're not going to fall for that one. Assure them that you'll protect them and they won't die. Yeah. Oh, that they'll die if they don't eat it. If all of a sudden you could start hearing other people's thoughts and the person next to you was thinking about mugging you and stealing your money, what would you do? Take preemptive action and beat them up. Tell them you don't think mugging you is a good idea. Get away from them as quickly as possible. Ignore it. You don't know that you aren't just hallucinating. I would say that. I'd say, hey, I don't think mugging me is a good idea. They'd be like, whoa, okay. That sounds reasonable. Your best friend comes to you and tells you that they just accidentally killed someone and they don't want to go to prison. Help them hide the body. Report them to the authorities. Tell them that they're on their own, but you won't rat them out. Try to convince them to turn themselves in. Your best friend? I'd probably help. Aw. You're driving in your car and you accidentally run someone over. You're pretty sure that they're okay, but the fact that their head is clearly detached from their body suggests that it's probably just wishful thinking. What do? Call your best friend and tell them that you don't want to go to prison. Turn yourself into the authorities. Drive away and hope nobody saw what you did. Try to hide the body yourself. I would turn myself in. I would just, hey, this happened. Shitty situation. You know? I think it always goes best for people when they admit to that. I'm watching you. Interesting how that played out. I think it's time we move on to the next portion of our test. The following questions that shall be asked of you are would you rather style questions. Imagine you've got a gun to your head and you absolutely must choose an answer, no matter how uncomfortable that may be. Let's get started, shall we? Would you rather be loved by all or feared by all? Loved. Would you rather never get angry or never get jealous? Never get jealous. Would you rather be held in high regard by your parents or by your friends? I think friends. Would you rather live in space or live under the sea? Oh, that's a hard one. I've always loved space. If I could just survive, you know, like, I don't need to, you know, like, of course I need the whole suit and stuff, but under the sea would be more interesting because there'd be more life, you know. I don't know. That's so difficult. Fish and coral, it's all gorgeous. Space, who knows how long I'd be alone for? Probably my entire life before I even made it to a different system. I'm going to go with C. Would you rather donate your body to science or donate your organs to people who would need them? People who'd need them. Would you rather go to jail for 5 years for something you didn't do or get away with something horrible you or you did, but always live in fear of being caught. Live in fear. Would you rather work at a horrible job that you hate, but retire comfortably in 10 years from now? Or would you rather have your dream job, but have to work until the day you die? That sucks. Let's just do retire and... but I'd rather... Dream job forever. That's fine. Because if it's my dream job, I'm never going to have a bad time. You know? Dream job. Would you rather every shirt you'll ever wear be something itchy? Or only be able to use one-ply toilet paper? One-ply. Would you rather have skin that changes colors depending on your mood? Or have tattoos appear on your body that depict what you did yesterday? Appearing tattoos? That'd be sick. Would you rather shit every time you orgasm? Or orgasm every time you see a dog? Oh my god, what? Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. Would you rather shit every time you orgasm or orgasm every time you see a dog? That is terrible. I'll take orgasm shits for 5,000, Alex. If your partner switches bodies with one of your parents, and the only way to get them to switch back is to have sex with one of them, would you rather have sex with your partner in your parent's body, or have sex with your parent in your partner's body? Yeah. Yeah, good. Thank you for not making me answer that one. Just answer the question. God damn it. Sex with my parent in my partner's body, or sex with my partner in my parent's body? That's terrible. I think I would have to pick the partner because she understands what's going on. I'd have to sit them both down on the couch and be like, okay, listen. The only way to get us out of this Freaky Friday is I have to have sex with one of you. I don't want to have sex with the consciousness of my mother. I'd rather have sex with the consciousness of my partner. I'm gonna blindfold myself. I'm also barely going to touch you. Oh, God. This is terrible. Partner. I'm gonna go partner. That one had no bearing on your results. I was just curious. Oh, my God. I think we've answered enough of these questions. I'm sure you'd agree. Thank you. Honestly, had they asked, does this question make you uncomfortable? That one did. That one's weird. We're going to end the test with a short series of final questions, giving simple answers. Well, get started now. Out of the following options, which number do you like the most? 3. Out of the following options, which color resonates the best at this exact moment? Black. Out of the following options, which creature are you least comfortable around? Spiders, snakes, scorpions, dogs. I love scorpions, snakes, and dogs. I'm going to go with spiders, and I don't have a problem with them either. Out of the following option, which flavor is your favorite? Chocolate, vanilla, peanut butter, mint, vanilla. Out of the following options, which do you personally value the most? Family, friends, money, or freedom? I want to say freedom, but then I feel like my family and friends are going to be upset about that because I would choose family because it's very important to me. But then if I choose family, then I'm not choosing friends. And if I'm not choosing friends, then I'm not, or if I'm choosing friends, then I'm not choosing family. I feel like these two are so important to me that it's hard to pick. So I want to just rule them out and go with one of these two. And I don't give a shit about this one, so freedom. Out of the following options, which could you most live without? Money. Out of the following options, which statement is the most accurate? I'm brave, I'm caring, I'm smart, I'm attractive. Caring. Out of the following options, which are you most afraid of? Living forever, losing my loved ones, dying alone, dying immediately after this test is finished. I don't care about this one. I don't care about this one. This one would suck. Living forever wouldn't be terrible, other than the fact that this is going to be a situation. Losing my loved ones. We're almost finished, but I've got one final question for you. Have you ever punched a nun? You really ought to try it sometime. It can really take the edge off. Alright, we're done here. I'm through with you. I'm just going to calculate your results very carefully. I don't want to miss anything important. Trying my absolute hardest not to judge you right now. Trying to keep this as professional as possible. Aha! Here we go. Based on what you told me, I've come to a conclusion. This is what I personally believe would be in your best interest. To acknowledge, set in motion, and accomplish in order to climb the ladder to happiness in your life. First and foremost, I'd like to start with a blanket statement that everyone truly needs to hear. Something that is taken for granted far more than anything else in life. Something that has such an incredible, unique, irreplaceable value compared to any other thing on this earth. And that, my friends, is the value of time. Time is the most valuable form of currency you will ever hold in life. You can spend time on anyone, doing anything, for any reason. Now, time can be spent, time can be wasted, and time can be taken away. But time can never be refunded. Time can never be earned back, and more time can never be gained. Imagine a bank account with all the money you'll ever get to spend in a life. Now imagine not knowing how much money is in your account. Imagine going to the store one day to purchase something you really need, and the cashier tells you, "I'm sorry, but you cannot afford that." As a matter of fact, you can never afford anything ever again. We only have so much time, and we have no idea just how much or how little we truly have before our bank account runs dry. And the fact that we get to decide and choose what we spend our time on just shows you how truly special it is when someone spends their time on you. So now that we understand the incredible value of time, I'd like to make a suggestion for you personally on how I think you'd be best spending your time in order to achieve what you need most at this current stage in your life. Let's see here. Well, this is clear as day. There's a big piece to life's grand puzzle that you're missing on a daily basis. There are bridges in your life that have been collapsed, either by your own doing or by someone else, but either way, this has affected you more than you may realize. Judging from the looks of things, you really need to reach out to someone you haven't spoke to in a long while. It doesn't matter how the conversation will end up going. It doesn't matter if it'll be boring, pleasant, or painful. What matters most is you spend the time having this conversation with them, because there's something very valuable that you're going to learn by talking to them. You're going to get a certain feeling, a certain emotion. Focus not on what they say, but how they make you feel. That emotion is the key to your next step in life. Take a little bit of time out of your day to get in contact. You'll be very thankful that you did. I think you'll be very surprised just how much of a positive impact it can have on your life going forward. I hope this information helps you achieve your goals. Your secret word is closure. Remember this word. This will come in handy. Okay, so that ending didn't resonate as hard, or at least it didn't hit me as hard as the first time, or what they said in the first game to me. It still did mean something to me. It's actually kind of funny because all day yesterday I was thinking about a specific person that I used to hang out with all the time back in high school. And the last time he and I talked was right after high school, and then he broke contact, and I was sitting there thinking yesterday, why am I even thinking about this guy? I haven't thought about him in years. And now all of a sudden he's like in my head. And I was wondering how his life has been and what's been going on. I have tried to reach out to him. A couple years ago I tried to reach out to him and I got nothing. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it, but either way, I hope this was entertaining to you guys and you guys had a good time with it. I will play the third one, and hopefully the developers will contact me when I post this one too. I really appreciated that they did that. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the third installment of the test games. Bye guys.